Welcome to the Gate of Life podcast, your number one resource for living a better life every single day. I'm your host, Justin Flinner, acupuncturist, Tai Chi instructor, and coffee lover, and I will be leading you on a new journey. Each episode in the Gate of Life podcast will help you to start feeling a little bit more like you. Now, I'm sure 2020 was a year that forced you to question a lot of areas in your life. Your career, your finances, your relationships, your health, your political affiliations, and perhaps your beliefs. As you walk with me in the new evolution of this podcast, I will guide you through these areas of your life and through the Gate of Life to a place where you can look out into the world with open eyes and an open heart, where you can learn to enjoy life and all that it has to offer you. On behalf of My Mature Medicine, I thank you for being here with me. Now, let's go take your first step through the Gate of Life. Hey there, and welcome back to the Gate of Life podcast by My Mature Medicine. I'm your host, Justin Flinner, and I'm going to take you on a new journey for the month of February. We're going to explore the core. I didn't realize I made a rhyme there. We're going to explore the core. In our video for this month, the first one that we published in February, we moved from the back to the front to your core. Some new ab exercises. If you haven't tried those out yet, they're easy. It's a good place to get started, so don't feel overwhelmed. I'm not going to throw it into high gear at the beginning. That's not how I roll. I am going to have you roll up into a crunch, roll into the easy exercises, roll into... All right, I'll stop rolling. You get the point, okay? We're going to work on your core. In this podcast, we're not going to focus on your abdomen, although you can draw some connections here. We're going to talk about control. Control is rooted in your ability to connect to your core. Have you ever lost control of something? I hope you don't think immediately of car like I did. But if you were to suddenly lose control of your car, maybe you have a flat tire. If you've had a flat tire, you notice that immediately something is wrong. Your car starts to do something weird. It moves off in a different direction. And then you got to pull over and take care of that. In the moment where that tire might pop, what do you have to do with your car? You have to gain control. What does that do to you physically? I want you to imagine that for a second. You're in a car, you're driving, and then all of a sudden you hear pow, and then your car, you start to have this weird feeling. You're not just going to sit there and reach over, grab your cup of coffee and say, let me take a sip of this. Hey, how about those Mets? I'm not a Mets fan. Maybe I could be, but just the first team that came to mind. So you're welcome, Mets. When you lose control of something, naturally you want to regain control. That's simple. That's basic. If your car does have a flat tire, you want to gain control of your car so you don't crash into another car, into the median, into the tree. You want to pull over safely so that you can take care of it and get back on your journey where you're going. We do the same thing in life. When you lose control, or when you're about to lose control, we do our best to regain that control. Sometimes we might do that in a negative way, gaining control of a situation. No, they will not have the last word. I have to have the last word. I have to send the last email. I have to have the last conversation, phone call, argument, whatever. Some people love control. They love power, or like to think that they have power when other people understand clearly that they don't. We all like to have a sense of control, but our control should start with ourselves. And the control needs to have a place that it can connect to, a place where it can be a balanced kind of control. And that requires you to look to your core. Now, I don't mean your abdomen here, but if you do think of the abdomen, you're probably thinking of, okay, I got to be able to turn my waist, bend down, lift up. I got to be able to use my core to keep myself stable. It's your powerhouse. That's where your power is generated from. So the people who want to feel powerful try to gain control of a situation, gain control of a person if they have evil intentions. In the sense of gaining control and connecting to your core, the core of who you are as an individual determines your ability to control your own life. Think about that for a second. Your ability to connect to who you are helps you to have better control over the things that you do, the thoughts that you have, the emotions that you express, the journey you are on in life. How much control do you actually have over your life? Or do you let other people control your life? Or do you think that other people are controlling your life? It's the man, as they say in the movies. Everything is controlled by the man. And who knows? It could be the woman. It could be the woman. I mean, obviously, we're not looking in that direction, whether it's the man or the woman. Here, who has control over your life? Obviously, it's you. You have control over your own life. No one else can make you think or do or eat. As much as I want my children to eat more vegetables, I can't force feed them. I can put it on their plate, but they have to put it in their mouth and chew it, and I can only yell at them so much. It's like, you're not leaving the table until you eat your broccoli. Actually, my daughter eats broccoli very well, so thank you for that. So when we try to gain control of a situation, we try to do that from the core of ourselves and believe that we have power to do so. But all other individuals aside, when we want to gain control of ourselves and our life, we have to start looking inward, not outward. Don't look to other people to give you the answers that you might already have. Look inward. Reflect on yourself. Look at your actions, good or bad. Look at all of the accomplishments, all of the failures. Look to everything that makes you who you are and who you can become. This is when we have the potential to gain control. Control over the decisions, the actions, every aspect of our life, whether it's personal, whether it's financial, whether it's career, whether it's love life. Any aspect of your life that you feel is out of control, you need to regain control. Now, how can you do that? Again, you need to look inward, and that's a general statement. We need to give a little bit more substance to that. When you look inward, let's say, for example, that you are lacking financially. Instead of looking to others, say, I need money. Can I borrow some money? I need to get another credit card. Let me get another credit. Let me get a loan for this. Let me ask and talk to this financial person. Let me talk to the tax person. You're looking outside. What happens if you were to go to your bank statements or to your checkbook or your credit card statements? What happens if you were to go and look and see where your money is actually going? Sit down and analyze that. Look at the core of your spending. Look at the core of how you're spending, when you're spending. Do you have enough money to spend? Do you not? Where does your money need to go rather than where is it going? Are you saving for later? Are you spending now? You don't have a savings at all. Where is your money going? Financially, we have to look to the core. We have to examine ourselves, the actions that we're taking, and that may involve other people. You may have to talk with your spouse. You may have a financial specialist, consultant that you work with that gives you the advice that you know you need. And you have to be able to make decisions for yourself at the same time. So that's just financially speaking. If we look in other areas of our life too, say relationships, where are you lacking right now? If you're looking to find someone to spend the rest of your life with, you want to be married someday, but you don't even have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you need to examine, okay, about myself, what could I do? What is the first step that I could do to find someone? But in this case, you're looking outward. Looking inward, are you ready for a relationship? Is marriage something that you need right now? Or is it something you can enjoy later? Are there gaps that you need to fill in? Or do you feel really comfortable with who you are, that if you meet someone, you would be able to tell them comfortably that, yes, I like you, or no, I don't like you. It was great to meet you. I just don't feel that we can connect on that level, and I wish you all the best. And maybe I'll see you again someday. Or this was a fantastic evening. Let's have a drink sometime again. Or if you're already married, you've got kids, maybe you need to take your relationship to the next level. Are you spending enough time with your spouse? Or if it's with your kids, are you spending enough time with your kids? In this case, again, we're looking out, but we have to also look inward for ourselves. So if it is something connected to spouse or your children, then what are you doing that's keeping you from spending time with them? What do you need to change? Where does your energy need to be applied? All of this is connected to you looking inward to gain control over yourself, not other people, not something, not someone, you. You must gain control over who you are. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, on every level of your health. So when you're trying to connect, you must connect to the core. And that is one reason why I went from the back, which we focus on posture, keeping yourself strong, confident in the month of February with our podcasts and also with our videos. We're building a structure that is agile, that is firm, that is supple also. And then we can apply some meaning to this. We can get to the core. We can look inward and gain control of ourselves so that we can better experience life. So the exercise we're going to do today is to have you look inward. I want you to look inside of yourself. Pick one of the areas of your life where, honestly, you know you're lacking. Is it one of the areas I mentioned, or is it something completely different? Is it something you're working toward, but yet you don't have the answers to yet? I want you to take that area of your life right now, and for 60 seconds, focus inwardly. Look inside, see what you're doing now, see what you've done in the past to get you where you are now. Is there something you can let go of? Is there something you need to hold on to? Is there something you need to build upon? Where do you go from here? So for 60 seconds, look inward, close your eyes, put your hands in a comfortable position, sit there, stand there, wherever you are. If you're driving, look at the road, take your time, and just think mentally as you're at a light, a stoplight, may pause until you get there. Just do it safely, that's all. So 60 seconds, you ready? We start now. All right, 60 seconds is up. How'd you do? Did you look inward? Or did you get distracted and look outward? Did you immediately think, why should I think about myself? I should think about other people. Yes, that is an important thing to remember as well. Everything we do should be in the interest of other people, not just ourselves. We don't want to be selfish human beings. Selfish son of a gun, you are. No, you're not selfish. You're better than that. We need to open ourselves up. But in order for us to open ourselves up, we need to have a strong foundation and a strong understanding of who we are. That's what plants do. That's what trees do. That's what happens in life. You see a rose blooming. It doesn't just come out of nothing. You plant the seed, it takes time for it to grow, it opens up, and it is gorgeous. If it didn't go through its natural process of growth, who knows what that thing would look like? Probably not a rose for sure. So allow yourself to look inward. Take the time that you need. Focus. Do this regularly. If it requires you to get a journal and write down the things that I mentioned, what did you do in the past that got you to where you are? What did you do in the past that you could change or forget about or transform into something positive? Use that as fuel for the future. What are you doing now? Is your time allocated properly? Do you need to sit down and write down the schedule for every single day and say, from 8 to 9, I've been doing this? That's some time I could let go of and actually, hang out with my spouse or with my kids or have some time for me to focus on me. Gosh darn it. In that 60 seconds, I hope you got something out of it in a way that you can begin to look internally. You can look at yourself and say, these are the areas where I'm a little bit out of control. And say that confidently. It may be difficult to say. You're admitting that you need to improve. I admit that I need to improve. We all have areas that we can be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, or slower. We can all improve to a higher level in everything in life. And this is the place where you start to look internally so that you can no longer lose control, but teach yourself how to gain control so that eventually you can walk through the gate of life. I thank you all for listening to today's podcast, and I wish you all the best this week, this weekend, until our next episode when I see you back here again. Thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day. Take care.
This podcast is brought to you by My Mentor Medicine, an organization that is dedicated to helping people improve their lives by learning to empower themselves and take control of their own life. Any form of reproduction or distribution of this podcast is strictly prohibited. Should you have any questions on using this podcast or information that is contained within this podcast, please write to info@mymentormedicine.com.